y'all doing out there? Darren and Joe here with Urban Hillsides Real Estate and Real Estate Reality, your weekly show about real estate here specifically in Northeast Los Angeles communities, but also the larger Los Angeles and sometimes national stories that we might pick up. So thanks for coming and joining us. Gosh, Darren, I know this is going to be a shortened version. We might be a little out of practice because I was sick last week. But I'm feeling good today. I think this is the first day I'm feeling actually pretty good. So
good.
Yeah. Guys, today, shortened version, but we are going to talk about what Darren and I were discussing as the wait and see market for real estate right now. We're going to go through a couple seller wins, a couple buyer wins, and then Darren's going to pick out some actives. But before we do that, I want to remind everyone about Art Unite coming up in, I think, like 5 weeks. And that's November 16th and 17th. You may have seen it in your email, but today it was about the fundraise focus. And that fundraise focus for Central City Action Committee is to help them get a new van. Not even a new van, just a working van. Their van was stolen last year, and we're hoping to raise money for them so they can get the kids around and do the great work that they do in the community. So check that out, and we'd love to see you there November 16th, 17th, Tropico de Nopal Gallery. All right. Let me go ahead and do the disclaimer. Darren Hubert and Joe Cloninger are real estate agents at Avenue 8 under the Urban Hillsides brand. All opinions expressed by Urban Hillsides or guests on this video are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Avenue 8. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Urban Hillsides as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of Urban Hillsides team's opinions. This video is for informational purposes only. Okay. The other thing, Darren, we have an open house this weekend, don't we?
We do. And some other active listings as well. We have an open house at a nice 3-story. Well, I call it a small lot subdivision, although it's officially in the category of a condo, only because they didn't have small lot officially back then. 3-story, fully detached. Right. In Van Nuys, not our normal neighborhoods, but it is a bankruptcy sale. There is an accepted offer, but it goes to court for overbid, meaning that somebody can show up in court and bid. The auction date is October 24th, just a couple weeks away. Offers are non-contingent, but it's a newer house in good condition for $660 is the first overbid price. If anyone's considering going to Van Nuys.
Right. So, and it is, I think the big plus there too is it's near Lake Balboa, which is a great park for a lot of people in the valley.
Sure, it's close to the freeway. For some people who end up out in the valley, they just, commuter time is important. But it's accessible to elements in the valley, like Balboa Park and everything that is at that park, because there's a lot there at that park.
Huge.
Yeah, and it really is a nice space. And again, fully detached, no common walls at all, your own garage. It's like a house. And the HOAs are, I think, like 160. It's quite low. So in addition to that, we do have a lease that we just got a reduction on at 1070 Latrobe in Eagle Rock, very northeast Eagle Rock, very close to Pasadena, near Fagan, Colorado. Huge lot. It's a 14,000 square foot lot, 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, Spanish style. We did get a price reduction down to $5,000 a month. So that will be available to view this weekend. And then 3758 Arbolado, which we've been getting some good activity on lately, but technically still available. So love to show it. Amazing duplex, both vacant, clearly an owner-occupant unit, but also can get market rent for the other unit or occupy the entire space, which some people have considered.
Good options for sure. Wow, man, sounds like we're busy. That's good. I like hearing all that.
Yeah, and well, gosh, for that matter, we closed an escrow in Arcadia today that we've been working on for a year and a half.
Right.
And we opened an escrow today in Arcadia. That's quite a coincidence. We just can't move on from Arcadia.
Yeah, Urban
So
Hillsides Arcadia office. That's what I'm seeing.
I don't think this next one will take a year and a half, though.
No. Please, no. All right. Well, great. That catches us up there. Let me go ahead and I guess we'll start with the Yahoo article, and
Sure.
I'll play that video. Let me share the screen here. Share system audio, and let's see here. Okay, let me just refresh. All right. Here we go.
Mortgage rates jumping to their highest level since the 2008 financial crisis. The average rate on a 30-year fix now 6.7%, according to Freddie Mac, more than doubling from 3% just 1 year ago. So what's ahead for the housing market? We're joined now by Realtor.com Manager of Economic Research, George Rashu. George, nice to see you. You have separate housing data out today. We're going to get to that in a moment, but let's start with these rates. With continuing Fed tightening, where do you believe rates are headed, and how severe do you expect the impact to be on home values?
Dave, that is the question of the season. When you look at mortgage rates, even a month ago, we would not have expected we'd see anything within a 7% range. And yet, here we are very close. What that really means when you put numbers to paper is that for the typical buyer, someone who's on a median household income of about $71,000 and putting a 20% down on a median priced home at 3%, they would have over $107,000 more. So put it another way, the buyer today in September of a medium priced home lost about $100,000 in purchasing power. That's tremendous. When you juxtapose on top of that the fact that home prices are still rising compared to a year ago, though they are finally backing off peak, and you throw in the fact that inflation is eroding most people's incomes, you have an affordability crisis, which is making it really challenging. And with the Fed, to your point, committed fully to bringing inflation down here to 2%, I am not surprised to see rates moving within 7%, and very likely before the end of the year, we could see even mid-sevens.
And so what sort of trends are you seeing in terms of inventory and the changes there?
Rochelle, what we're seeing at Realtor.com, looking at the inventory picture, is number one, a significant improvement. Most of it, mind you, borne out by the significant drop-off in demand. However, active inventory is up from a year ago, and homes are spending longer on the market. That, in a sense, is really good news. It's showing market is moving back towards balance. At the same time, worryingly, as we go into the colder months of the year, and a lot of homeowners are beginning to get worried they missed the peak, we're seeing new listings pull back. So just at the time when we need supply to increase, we're seeing some of that supply shrink, and that's still keeping upward pressure on prices for the time being.
George, you mentioned the fact that homes are sitting on the market for longer. How long is a typical home on the market? And I guess, how does that compare to those pre-pandemic times?
So in many respects, we're looking at roughly, around the 40-day mark right now. Pre-pandemic, we would normally expect the home to be on the market somewhere closer to 60 days, right? Somewhere between 2 and 3 months would be more of a balanced market. So we're still a ways off from that point. The encouraging factor here is the fact that we're seeing a lot of sellers still trying to make a go at it. But for buyers, the real challenge is their incomes and that their ability to borrow are really being curtailed. And in effect, what the market is doing is pretty much following what the Federal Reserve has said. I mean, we heard Chairman Powell at the last meeting of the FOMC say that housing needs a correction. And if anything, we're seeing that actually take place in real estate markets right now.
Yeah, and that statement from Powell raising a lot of questions. Do you think the Fed can bring home values back to, or seeks to bring home values back to 2019, 2020 levels?
That's a great question, Dave. And I don't think the Fed has a particular target in mind, like they do with inflation. However, I do see it from at least the remarks, Powell's remarks. He pointed out that people today can not really afford to purchase a home. And for many first-time home buyers, that's absolutely the case. So from my perspective, I see at least having homes price-wise move sideways as a real benefit as long as incomes keep rising. If, however, inflation lasts longer into next year than the Fed anticipates, that could further erode purchasing power. And that's even before we discuss any economic outlook, a potential recession, or labor market, which is still very strong, slowing down at some point next year.
And George, just quickly, because I know in the suburbs I've started to see home prices coming down, but what about the top 10 metro areas? What are you seeing there?
In the top 10, at least by size, we're still seeing activity fairly brisk. In fact, when we look at our top 50 metros, we're only seeing a couple of them with actual price declines year over year. The others, it's a combination of, number one, the fact that we are still in a tight inventory situation. Yes, it's improving, but it's nowhere near historical markets. Second, we're still seeing buyers interested in purchasing. The truth is, with changing stages of life, with changing life circumstances, transactions will continue. People will retire, people will change jobs, people will have children and need a bigger home. So we're still seeing buyers in the market. It's just that right now, the only ones that can afford are either repeat buyers who have a lot of equity, folks with cash, think here retirees selling in a high cost area, moving somewhere more affordable, or people with higher incomes. And for those outside of those groups, it's a much more challenging environment.
George Ritu, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us. Great to have you.
Wow.
Shifting gears now to
Great stuff. That really says a lot, doesn't it?
Boy, that's a lot packed into a 6-minute video.
Right. Right.
And ironically, the first thing I think about when I watch that is potential confirmation bias, depending on which side of the aisle you're on. You can listen to that and hear a bunch of negative stuff. You can listen to that and hear a bunch of positive stuff.
Right.
Based on what you want to hear.
Right.
I will say that affordability has been an issue for a long time, not just recently.
Right.
Rates being high hurts that.
Right.
But the potential buyers are still out there. There are still multiple offers. There are still prices going up. All of this is happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
As rates are as you're pulling up, over 7.
Mm-hmm.
They've moved up the last 3 days.
Right.
So, gosh, metros are still staying strong. One of the interesting things there on the topic of it's a sit and wait market is, and I haven't heard it specifically said the way he said it, but sellers feel they missed the high point. So they're just going, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna sell.
Yeah. Well, right. We still have the visions of 2021, 2020. Nobody wants to admit, from a seller's side, that the prices are lowering. They stubbornly want to hold on.
Well, the sit and wait is it's not uncommon.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon. I've had this feeling about the market before. This condition has existed before. It's a standoff between buyers and sellers to see who's going to concede first. Are more buyers going to jump in?
Right.
Or are more sellers going to be forced to sell?
Mm-hmm.
And both happen. Again, we evaluate the market as balanced right now, but still low inventory. And it's a mixed bag on what's going up and what's going down in price.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I've heard is the idea of people looking for smaller houses now as well, and trying to make things work with the smaller house. And we just had that happen today, in fact, right? We have some people looking at a smaller place.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
We're adaptable as humans. Sometimes that's based on adjusting your expectations and making it work for you. And increase in prices will make force some people to adapt.
Right, right. Well, let's take a look at what they were talking about in terms of the mortgage rates. So here is Mortgage News Daily, and sure enough, there we are today, right above 7. It looks like 7.12%. Yesterday, 7.04, and then the day before, 6.95. So last 3 days going up.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the other thing I wanted to show was the Fear and Greed Index. I think we kind of probably know where it is, but it was at fear last time we looked at this. Now it's extreme fear. And now this is talking about the stock market, but they go hand in hand with real estate. So
Is this a day to day or active?
it is
In the moment.
So if we see S&P 500 and its 125-day moving average market momentum, last updated October 7th, 5:20 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's to the moment almost.
Yeah.
2 minutes off.
Yeah.
And the stock market was down 600 points today.
Yeah.
But it's been going through these huge volatile swings. Go up 600 points on Monday.
Yeah. So there you go. Wait and see. That's kind of what a lot of us are doing. Do you think we'll get more direction once fall comes and we see what the Fed is going to do in November at the next? I think it's November. Do you think we'll get any more direction in this end of the year?
No.
No.
I think the Fed could put more downward pressure if they do another big increase. Rates we're at low sevens. If we spike up to high sevens, it's certainly going to have a negative effect on the market.
Yeah.
But it's such an emotional response that if they don't do a increase, we might get a momentary reversal until the next meeting.
Yeah.
It's really volatile.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. All right. Well, one of the things, Darren, you're reminding me of a conversation we had a couple weeks ago. During these times, for Darren and myself, we were talking about, the message to buyers, the message to sellers, and we always remain, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we always remain optimistic, even through the worst times. That really becomes kind of our way to survive in such a tough job like real estate. But, it really gets down to what you're looking for and what you need. There's some people with much better strengths now in this horrible market, and we want to work with everyone individually. So as much as we paint some big broad pieces of news here, we want to be fair, and we want to be valuable to both buyers and sellers at this crazy time.
And I think that was the conversation, and thanks for remembering and bringing that up.
Yeah.
Was kind of dividing a response to both buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
There's good and bad, as you just said, on both sides. And often when we speak, if we're trying to speak to the general audience, we're trying to deliver a little more of a neutral position. But what we speak directly with buyers or sellers in their case, we're honed in on giving them the best advice possible.
Right, right. So, all right. Well, good stuff. We'll continue that conversation, I'm sure. What I wanted to go to next was, I guess I'll start seller and buyer wins. Let me just do my thing here. All right. Gosh, man, I don't know if you had a chance to look at this, but, you know, 1 week we're saying, wow, you know, prices are softening, and then here we are. Look at this. So, did you get anything out of this? I mean, I guess we saw a little bit more balance in terms of list prices to solds.
Yes, that's the key, Joe.
Yeah.
I think you just said it right there. There's been enough volatility that the new norm is to price the list price lower. And that's why we're going from maybe there's resistance initially, the market isn't changing, we're listing at the highest price, and they're not getting it, so we've been seeing substantially more property sell below list price. We hadn't seen for a long time. But now the trend is understood a little more, and people are listing substantially lower. And we had that experience today.
Right.
With going into escrow with a buyer, the property was underpriced on the MLS.
Right.
For what it was. So it will show up as a sold way over listing price.
Right.
On your chart. So I think that's what we're seeing. Lower listing prices, and it's actually for more experienced agents who understand this. And it's working in their favor. They're still getting early activity then.
Right. But you know, we still have some big ups on the seller wins. Let me start with, of course, Los Feliz. Let me take a look here. Bear with me. So this is 4838 Los Feliz Boulevard. Pretty well traveled street. Let me just get there. There we go. Alright. So yeah, 4838 Los Feliz Boulevard. This started as list price $2,250,000 and it landed at $2,900,000 for a $650,000 increase. 129% over list. So let's take a look here. Okay. So looks like a flip. This is 4 bedrooms, 5 baths, 3,471 square feet in Los Feliz. Large lot, 11,377 square feet. Sold for $2,900,000, and let's see, this took 7 days on the market, so that was pretty quick. And again, that original list price $2,250,000. This was brought to us by, let's see, Susan Lau and Daniel M. And on the buy side, Sanjay Pai. So congrats to them. Looks like a flip, right?
Yeah, I would. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
It's a small house for the neighborhood. If you look at that, you get further on the photos. Property to the right and left are both 2-story, large. It's a pool house. It's finished.
Yeah.
And they knew they were underpricing it.
Yeah. And like you said, with a smaller house, for sure, you need to do something like that. I think also that it's on Los Feliz Boulevard. There might have been some noise issue.
Yeah, you know that this is of the 3 properties that are in their photo. The only one with with visibility to the street. All the other ones have solid walls, which I'm sure this one will have eventually.
Right. Okay. Well, let's move on to the next one. So our next example is 1941 North Serrano Avenue. It started at $2,250,000, and it landed at $2,624,190 for a $374,190 increase. So let's see. My guess this is Los Feliz again.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Bear with. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, sold. Okay. Okay, beautiful house. 1941 North Serrano Avenue. This is Los Feliz again. 3-bedroom, 4 baths, 2,300 square feet of living space. Sold for $2,624,190. This took 8 days on the market, and this was brought to us by Lauren Reichenberg, and on the buy side, Tracy Tudor and Rob Moravsky. So, congrats to them. What are your thoughts on this one, man?
Great looking house. It is a great neighborhood.
Great character.
Character house shows well. It's been cleaned up. It's staged well. So it's proof that in a challenging market, high quality property will still sell.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, let's take a look at some buyer wins, and let's see. Bear with. Let's see. We are going to look at. Let's see. Well, here let's do Lucille Avenue. So 1735 Lucille Avenue, listed at $1,595,000 and sold for $1,595,000. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. Okay, 1735 Lucille Avenue. This is Silver Lake. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,310 square feet of living space. Sold for $1,595,000. Smaller lot, 3,280 square feet. And this took 9 days on the market. So still brisk. And this was brought to us by Eric Zarenko. And on the buy side, Mark Rivas. So. Do you think they priced it right?
I do.
Yeah.
It's a small lot. The street is very close.
Right.
But it looks charming inside. It's got a nice view. It's a good size house.
Yeah.
It's just the few decks looks like is your outdoor space.
Right. Beautiful. All right. Well, let's take a look at another one. I'm going to go to. Let's see here. Let's go to Preston. So, 2017 Preston Avenue. This listed at $988,000 and sold at $950,000 for the only reduction this past week of $38,000. Let's see what's going on there.
The only reduction.
Yeah.
I gotta repeat that, boy.
Once you
think you know what this market's gonna do.
Okay. Oops. Sorry, guys. All right. Okay, so this is 2017 Preston Avenue. Is this Echo Park?
Yes.
Yeah. 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 702 square feet, 950,000 sold price, 5,490 square feet of land, and took 48 days on the market. And again, they started at 988,000. So this was brought to us by, let's see, Elizabeth LeGlaire, and on the buy side, Adam Pergament, who we know. Congrats to Adam.
Wow.
Yeah.
This house will be flipped.
Yeah.
For sure. And he does nice work.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, it's a long distance up to the front. It's just a house without any finishing elements in the yard. Looks like no garage.
Yeah, is there one at the bottom? I didn't even see it.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Wow.
It's just going to get much bigger. It's probably going to at least double, triple in size.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, as you're saying, for a 950,000 price, yeah, they're going to have to make it up in square footage.
Absolutely.
To get a decent price out of this.
Yeah. It could very well end up being in that 2,000 to 3,000 square foot range when they're done.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah, 702 square feet. Yeah, they got to get it up there for sure. All right. Well, there you go. Some examples of the past week for seller and buyer wins. Darren, I turn it over to you for some actives that might look interesting for people.
Sure. Let's go to one of our favorite neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
There are two new listings there. One's a pretty major fixer, and one is more finished.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 968 Montecito Drive.
Oh yeah, 968 Montecito. You know, for all the houses that we walked to there, didn't have a huge memory of this one. I knew where it was, but no.
I know exactly who this is.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, now I gotta look at the name. Okay. Shoot. All right. Well, so this is 968 Montecito Drive, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,360 square feet of living space. It's on a 6,441 square foot lot. It's active on the market at $1,149,000, and this is Montecito Heights. So it has an open house on Sunday, the 9th, from 2 to 4 p.m. So far, it's been on the market for 7 days, and this is brought to us by Richard Michelovsky and Tracy Doe.
Yep.
So who is this? Now I want to go look.
Oh, I believe it was an older woman who lived there. You and I both had long conversations with.
No, I thought that was it, but no, this is on the other side. This is not on that side. It's you know where you turn up Montecito Drive to get up to that ladder? It's right there. So,
Okay.
But it looks similar. It is
similar.
It's
It's got the same front. So the issue at Montecito Heights,
Mm-hmm.
which we just closed an escrow a couple weeks ago up there, is just finding people who are comfortable with the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You see it a little bit in that first photo,
I see that one.
or near the end.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, once you overcome that, it's a fantastic neighborhood where there's great value.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see where this one goes. It'll be interesting after we just sold that one. All right.
Yes.
Let's look at another one. What else do you have out there, Dan?
The
other one in
two more.
Montecito
So
Heights.
let's go up to Eagle Rock.
Oh, you skipped the
5115 Sheeran.
Oh, say it again.
5115
Uh-huh.
Sheeran.
Okay. All right. All right. You know, there was another one up there. It wasn't this one, but I was thinking of one of our clients. It was a Spanish. But anyway, 5115 Sharon Avenue. This is Eagle Rock, 5 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,312 square feet of living space. It's on a 15,000 square foot lot. And open houses are actually for next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 4. and it's been on the market so far 7 days. And this is brought to us by Matthew McCormick. So congrats to him. And I'm sorry, the list price is $2,188,000.
Sure. So I personally believe this is overpriced.
Yeah,
I think they're going to have some problems selling this.
yeah.
Square footage.
Somebody got greedy a little.
Yeah. Well, I think it's 3-4 months ago. Square footage in neighborhood could work, but the property's not finished. The general rooms look nice, but kitchens, bathrooms, nothing was done to the yard. Choice in color, choice of windows. It's just not going to fly at this price point.
Yeah. Where do you think it might end up? Just a little below 2, maybe?
I think it's unfortunately if you overprice in this market, you get hit. You're going to take a hit even more than before. So no, I think it's going to have like 1.8.
Wow. Okay.
It's just going to take time to get there.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I'm trying to remember. Let's see here. If we can get any clues about where Matthew's from. Yeah, Matthew's got an 805 area code and an 818. He may not be a local. So, yeah, he might get a little rude awakening.
One of the biggest issues with the non-locals is just understanding how much value there is in finishes. They just see bad square footage, and they don't recognize it enough.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, one more, which I think is just super cool architecturally. 3921 Sunset Drive.
Okay. 3921 Sunset Drive. All right. Sounds over by me somewhere. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw this. Okay. Not a big place, but looks good. 3921 Sunset Drive. This is Los Feliz. 3-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,160 square feet of living space. On the market at $2,499,000. It's on a 5,800 square foot lot, and Saturday and Sunday there'll be opens from 2 to 5. This is 4 days on the market so far, and this is brought to us by Daria Greenbaum. So congrats to her.
Yeah, congrats.
Looks good.
I like it when it's not one of the high volume agents.
Yeah.
It's well finished. It's very nice. I don't know she was involved in any other work, but somebody knew what they were doing. They had a very good sense of design.
Yeah, look at those bare ceilings. But it works.
Yeah. The windows are great. The deck flows right into the exterior pool.
Wow, man, even down to the pizza oven. Did you see that pizza oven?
I know.
That's very cool.
It looks like there's a second kitchen, so now I'm wondering if it's units.
Oh, let's take a look. Quiet street, Franklin Hills, single level, mid-century, modern with a pool. Lovingly remodeled. Yep. Second unit. Technically a duplex, a second unit with its own address on the property affords the new owner the opportunity to rent the additional unit for income or use it as an extension of their own home for compound-style living. There it is.
Right. So that just makes me wonder, like, something we're working with on our duplex for sale.
Yeah.
What's the division of space? How much of it is the rental side? How much of it is the owner side? Potential.
Yeah.
My preference actually for primary photo would have been number 39. I think it's super nice.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah.
Looks more prominent. There you go. Maybe the floor plans will give you a better sense of division of space.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, man. I mean, it looks so great, but I do wonder if $2,499,000 is kind of high. But it is Franklin Hills, and
Well, we've been dealing with a duplex, and it's been hard.
Yeah.
And we're watching the other ones that are in a similar family of a clear owner-occupied unit, and they're having a hard time moving too.
Yeah. Well, this will be an interesting one to watch. Really nice place.
Yep.
Okay. Well, if that feels good to you, that feels good to me, Darren. I know you
great.
gotta
It's
get
great.
going. All right. So let me just end out here. Stop sharing. So, what is those final words? What are those final words to give people? Anything?
Happy Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah, Monday.
On Monday.
Right on. Yeah, good
You
point.
know, just stay focused, stay engaged. Don't
Yep.
Try not to have confirmation bias. Try to
Yeah.
approach the market with an open mind,
Yeah.
and
And get some good counsel. You can't figure this out all on Redfin. Please don't do that.
right.
Makes you feel good, but don't do that. Don't do
And
that.
in all sincerity, listen to that video again. I think it was a good video. It really touched on a lot of points that are impacting the market. And sometimes, whenever somebody, either in a written article or a video, is able to grasp, 5 to 10 factors that are triggering the market and may move it in different directions, that's the best you can expect. No one's got a crystal ball. No one can absolutely say what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you understand the components that could impact it, you'll have a better sense of finding comfort in your next move.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Guys, have a great week. We'll see you next week, Thursday at 2. And stay tuned. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.